Hi everyone, and welcome to a presentation on grounded theory designs. This is referencing a Chapter 13 overview from Creswell's 2015 version of Educational Research, presented by myself, Michelle Harley, for EDU 510. Grounded theory designs, according to Creswell, enables a researcher to find a theory about a central phenomena grounded in data of qualitative research. Grounded theory is a systematic qualitative procedure used to generate a theory that explains at a broad level process, interaction about a substantive topic. It is also very important to note that grounded theory designs are very useful for beginning researchers using or with the purpose of generating a qualitative research study. There are three types of grounded theory designs, and when researchers are evaluating which will work best for them, they have to ask themselves some questions. The first being, how strongly do you emphasize procedures? How strongly do you want to emphasize predetermined categories? So what that means is how specific are the categories or ideas you're looking at need to stay the same or be as is in the beginning? And how do you want the study to end? So what does that look like at the end of the day? What information do you want to present to your population or your audience? The first is a systematic design. This approach emphasizes the use of data analysis steps, and there are three steps of coding. The first is open coding, the second is Axel coding, and the third is selective coding. So there's some really great detailed information presented by Creswell on page 427 that takes you through that. The second is quite a bit different, and it is the emerging design. This approach is less specific in the process, and the researcher can have an opportunity to let their theory really emerge from the data. It allows analyzing the data to be more flexible rather than prescribed, so you have more opportunity to learn as you go and really evaluate the information, collect extra data you think will strengthen your overall research, and go from there. And the final is a constructivist design. And the huge focus here is on views, values, beliefs, assumptions, and ideologies of the participants instead of the factual analysis itself. Each of those three have 6 key characteristics that we're going to look at next. So process approach. Even though a single topic is being studied, the process is key for each of the 3 types. Vivo codes is terminology used that are labels and categories of themes from the data that we're collecting. The second is theoretical sampling. So as a researcher, grounded theorists look at observations, conversations, public records, respondents' diaries and journals, and the researcher's perspective. So a combination of this type of theoretical sampling can give an opportunity for the researcher to have a very strong study. The next is constant comparative data analysis. This is crucial to ensuring you have all of the information needed to present a really strong theory. What you need to consider here is always looking at your information and asking yourself the following questions. What is the data study of? What category or property of what category is a specific incident indicating? What is actually happening within the data? And what is the basic social psychological process or social structural process? What's happening there? There's a figure here, 13.6, that showcases some information for the researcher to look at and make sure that they're constantly evaluating, connecting their information together. The next characteristic is a core category, and the central phenomena of the theory has to be meeting the following criteria. So our purpose is to gather all the information in a grounded theory study and really develop a theory from the core category. So it has to be central, has to appear frequently in the data. The explanation that evolves by relating categories is logical and consistent. The name or phrases should be abstract. As the concept is refined, the theory grows in depth and explanatory in power. And when conditions vary, the explanation still holds. So when you're taking that information and you're changing, so for example, you're doing something on leadership with teachers, you're looking at it this way. If you change a few of the variables and conditions, your explanation will still hold true and your theory would still make sense. Theory generation. So this step, or this characteristic I should say, is the entire procedure is leading up to this. So it's based on data collected by the researcher. And you're going to create a visual coding model or paradigm to showcase the theory. So this particular characteristic is very important because this is what's really going to allow your audience to understand how your theory came to be. Crucial part, memos. Taking notes. So when you're doing the research process and going through the procedure and meeting with all of your interviews and going through your information, you're going to take notes. And those memos are expected to have a good quality product to be referenced within the end result. There are 8 steps in conducting the grounded theory research. So we've talked about the 3 different designs of grounded theory, the 6 characteristics which lead us into the steps. So our characteristics are kind of woven amongst these 8 steps. The first step, decide if grounded theory design best address the research problem. So grounded theory offers a macro picture of educational issues rather than a detailed micro-analysis, which is very useful for sensitive topics because you're looking at the overall picture, not the little nitpicky data. The second step is identifying a process to study. So initially identify a process to examine the theory, but it can change and emerge during the process. So if you're having a preset set of what you're expecting, you can be prepared to change that to make sure that your study is reflecting as you learn from your data collection. Step 3, seek approval and access. Like with any research we have to complete, we have to have approval from the parties involved. Number 4, theoretical sampling. So collecting information that can assist you in development of the study. You want to collect data more than once and keep returning to the research categories are saturated and your theory is fully developed. The more data collection you have, the more evidence you showcase, the more valid your study will be at the end of the day. Code the data. Coding data occurs while collecting data, so you know which data to collect next. Using selective coding in developing the theory. So this is when you develop the theory after the data is collected. You have all your information. You're confident with everything that you've done. Step number 7, validate your theory. Make sure your theoretical explanation makes sense to your audience. Researchers participate in the process called discriminant sampling, where questions relating to categories and data are posed throughout the process. Step 8, write a grounded theory research report. The report types vary depending on what type of design you've chosen in the beginning, which one of those 3. Flexible if emerging or constructivist was used, or more quantitatively oriented structure and systematic design. So depending on which of those you've chosen, it'll look a little bit different. Evaluate the quality of the study. A good grounded theory presents a theory of process grounded in views of participants. This is developed by memos written by the researcher. This is a very valuable figure from Cresswell on page 446, which showcases high quality and low quality. For example, the researcher uses memoing in the procedure, so high quality indicators would be in the method section, the researcher discusses the process of memoing during the project and how the memos were used, whereas low quality indicators are researcher providing no evidence about the use of memoing in the study and presents only the categories and themes of the theoretical model. There are some potential ethical issues that may present themselves in grounded theory research. Advancing the purpose of the study, dealing with issues of power and authority interviewing. Sometimes we have people that don't quite feel comfortable. Building a relationship with those participants is crucial, as you're going to get the most out of that situation and high quality, relevant information. Building useful chain of evidence, making sure that what you have for your data and your information is very useful, and generating a theory that benefits the study that it was intended to serve, the population that the study was intended to serve. Even though there are some potential ethical issues here, it overall is a really good choice to use grounded theory designs if you're looking for a qualitative type of study. In summary, there are 3 types of grounded theory designs. There are key characteristics of each of the grounded theory designs. There are steps in conducting grounded theory study. There's specific things to look at when you're evaluating the quality of your grounded theory study. And there are some potential ethical issues that can pop up within the research. Overall, I hope you've learned something new about grounded theory designs, and you have yourself a wonderful day. Any additional information can be found in Creswell 2015 version of Educational Research. The page numbers are listed within the information and in the slides for yourself to go ahead and have a look should you have any questions. Thank you very much.